Ghosty.
And this is
Shining Ghosty.
somebody was like, "Yo, stop introducing your
Inanimate objects
as Care Bears characters and come up with some metal names like the Lightinator or something like that." That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. I thought
Good one.
This is Taake over Bjoergvin, Graater, Himmerik. There we go. Make sure that's out of the title, please. Oh, actually, no. That's
part of it.
That's 4. It's the 4th song on that record.
We actually, some of you may already know what we're about to say, but for those of you who don't, we have something cool on Patreon, which is if you join Patreon for as little as $1 a month, then you can join up with our alliances. We have multiple alliances. Basically, they're genre specific, and so you can influence the songs that we listen to, and that's how this song got onto our list. So one of the groups is called The True Cult. You got to see their intro when you started this video, and they picked, they voted on it. I'm not really, each one has different ways of how they do it.
Yeah.
So but this song is now on the list because of The True Cult, so we can thank them for that. Hopefully it doesn't suck, in which case I would say, well, thanks for letting us know about it even still, so we'll never listen to this band again. There's a couple ways to get your song reacted to. One of them is that way, like that's, as little as $1 a month. There's also, you can also post on any of our socials and stuff. And then if you don't really want to work with a team and you don't want to, you just want to kind of get your song right onto our short list, the best way to do that is to go through PayPal, or Patreon has an option also. But PayPal is a little bit more quick because the sooner your request gets to us, the sooner it gets onto the short list. So you can go on to there, and it's $125 for a song reaction. After you've done 3 or more with us, then it's $75 for your song reactions after that. So, but that's not what these people did. These people did the $1 tier or whatever tier that they're on, and they worked together to get this song onto our list.
So this is Taake over Bjoergvin, and it
I'm assuming it's some
translated to
black metal.
Yeah, it's translated as the translation is go over here real quick.
No, it's this. This? No, it's this. Right there.
No, I want to hear the translation.
It's right there.
Of this. Over Bergen cries the heavens. So there you go. Over Bergen. The only Bergen that I am remotely familiar is the concentration camp.
Well, it says the 7 tracks of this album represent the 7 mountains that surround the ever-reigning city of Bjoergvin. The name of the band, Taake, Taake, means fog, which is also a tribute to his hometown of Bjoergvin.
Doesn't Magua also mean fog? Interesting. All right, let's do it.
I did.
Get close to the daily on his side. Yeah, yeah,
Unbelievable.
Jeez. How did you know it was gonna do that zzz thing?
What's it?
Like it was like in the music, like at the end where it was kind of like that, and then all of a sudden like you moved your hand, like you knew exactly when that was gonna happen.
Oh yeah, I got a sixth sense for this song. Oh, it's just unlucky.
You did it twice.
Well, I mean, I do that a lot when I play. I mean, whatever. But I love this song. It had tremolo picking. I love the tremolo picking. It's just it just hits you emotionally in a different way when it's the tremolo picking. And they made it so melodic. That's actually one of the main things that I learned about music since the channel, particularly with black metal. Because even though it's, there's like the true cult black metal that has an ethos on, low production value or whatever. But these guys, it's the same thing with Magua, same thing with Batushka. They're able to do some pretty amazing lyrics, but melody. But they're using the guitar to drive the melody with the tremolo picking, and I just love that. I love it. People ask me what's your favorite genre of metal. I'm pretty sure black metal is my favorite genre of metal, just because
it does seem like that is the case.
What?
Whenever there's a black metal song, I'm like, oh, Finn's gonna like it, and you usually do. You usually have a thing for it.
Yeah. There's some orchestric black metal stuff that we've done where I'm like, it's good. I mean, it's good, but I really
when it first started out, it seemed like it was just very, very, very repetitive.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not going anywhere.
Right.
And then it started changing, and then it took a very surprising twist at the end. I did not expect that sound at all.
Yeah.
Especially given where the lyrics went. It obviously doesn't sound like a happy day.
Right.
And then in the end, in a placeless form, she is not with God. Which I guess, depending on where you're coming from, that could be a happy thing. Like for us, that's not a happy thing because we know God. So for us, to be in a godless place, or a place where you're not with God would be horrible. But some people, that's what they want. They've maybe experienced horrible things from the church, and they feel that God has said or feel certain ways about them. And so for them to be, there was even people in the Bible that basically said to God, if you would just turn your face away from me so I could live a little bit, that'd be great. So yeah. I think that in that case, but because the sound picked up, it seemed like, I can't tell exactly where, because we're reading English, but it's not in English, so you're trying to guess where you're at in the song.
What?
But it really picked up at the end, and it had this sort of happy sound to it, which is very surprising to me.
Yeah.
And I do love what they did with the guitars. It's funny because I wasn't really following the guitar until you started doing your air guitar. And then I was like, oh, yeah. And I actually really like the sound of the guitar in it after that. But, just a little bit.
Are you serious?
What? You found the English translations?
Well, yeah, but it's a terrible one. It says, after a rainy night, nothing is wrong. But here it says, after a rainy night, nothing is dry. And then it says...
from the yard blender job?
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And from the yard blending the task, which is still a kind of an avant-garde.
What do you think they're saying?
The term parapsychedelia...
Yeah, what is that? You made it up?
It's crazy. I don't know if he made it up or not. But the term parapsychedelia is probably the line of the year so far.
Oh my god.
Psychedelics are like DMT, all that stuff that makes you have these ethereal, otherworldly experiences. So I'm assuming that parapsychedelia is maybe a spiritual, people talk about the
paranormal.
Right. So it's a spiritual way of saying, psychedelics or whatever. But I just thought that was a pretty cool...
not a real word. Looks like he made it up.
Yeah.
But again, this is another... It's a translation, so...
Well, even here you can see it. It's still parapsychedelia right there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Look. If you look here, here's the German. It's still parapsychedelia.
Yeah.
In there. So.
Interesting.
That's a very good line. You can do a lot. You can do a lot with that. Okay, so this song is one of those songs that can really be interpreted 4 or 5 different ways. So, for example, is the entire record really just about Bergen, the city? And if you're German,
that's true. Yeah, I didn't actually. I forgot that's what it was about.
Don't be mad at me for butchering the title.
Hate ass. In what situation do people listen to music like this? Do you think? I can't.
Bergen is a town in north of the Cell district of Lundberg Heath in Lower Saxony, Germany.
Do people listen to this when they're just feeling regular? Or do they listen to this when they feel particularly depressed and dark and they want the music to kind of carry them in that? Let me know in the comment section under what circumstances people listen. This is not my style of music. There's literally nothing. There's no situation in my life that I can think of where I would say I am listening to this type of music. You listen to this type of music
all the time.
Yeah. Wow. What's
I'm
your?
going to be doing my planks to this one tonight.
See your planks.
The guitar was very, very inspiring.
Okay.
Guitar work was extremely inspiring to me anyway. Like it took you places. I don't know. I mean, it's the same mood everybody's in for their favorite type of music. I don't think this is particularly.
So you're riding in the car with your friends and you put this on?
Well, I've put on Magua for the whole ride from.
Yes, but you see, it's hard for me to. I want to hear from other people because to me, you go through bouts of depression a lot. So to me, you already look like you're depressed when you're listening to it. And if you're not looking depressed when you listen to it, I assume you probably are depressed. That's why you're listening to it. So I'd be curious if people just listen. Is this their happy music? Like you're sitting out by the pool and you
people aren't
put on
listening to Corner Slipknot for happy music.
No, but Corner Slipknot kind of makes me feel like let's jump around, let's push each other, let's have some energy.
Yeah.
This music makes me feel like are we sitting in a wet basement, kind of dark and drippy, and just
really
wallowing and feeling.
I was out in some open field when I was, especially like the second half of the guitar work. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The comment section should be.
Please let me know. I'm going to be in the comment section because I really want to know under what, let me know all of them, not just like, oh, when I'm feeling depressed, or also, do you listen to it when you're happy?
But this is kind of.
But this one kind of got happy. So, like, I'm talking about, like, black metal, darkened black metal, death metal.
Blackened.
If I'm saying it right.
Blackened death metal.
I knew this. How is it? How is that? Actually, tell me how it is. We're going to anyway.
I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Comment section should be very, very interesting. But
this is you.
What?
For moonlight keeps me awake.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Well. When I look outside and it's starting to turn into morning, I go, no!
I look, I'm like, the sun's coming up, Vin will be coming to bed soon.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, like, Magua had this Exercises in Futility.
I know, yeah.
And every song on the record was Exercises in Futility, and it was part 1, part 2, part 3. So, there's a lot more context here with this particular record because it's song 4. I'm assuming it's like 4 of 6 or 7 other songs, but there's so many things you could say. You could say, okay, he's talking about his homeland, and then toward the end, he basically says, God is not in his homeland. He grew up in Bergen or whatever.
That's an interesting way of wording it.
Because there's a lot of times when
instead of God is not with her. Right. She is not with God.
Correct. So it could be he's talking about his motherland, and in his motherland is godless. Maybe they're post-Christian, or even anti-Christian, to your point. And he's just talking about the beauty of living in Bergen. The moonlight keeps him awake. I feel her when it's dark. Maybe he's just talking about nature itself in the land of Bergen. Maybe. Nature strikes the land of Bergen in a very beautiful way. But this also reminded me, especially the very last line of that movie we saw, The Kindergarten Teacher, where the kid was like this savant and he was a poet, and he said some random things at the end. He was talking about this bull, and then he was like, accepted, say yes, in spite of everything, say yes, or whatever. And it's like, what was the connection to that and the bull? But I thoroughly enjoyed it. So
That's so funny. That was a question mark to you. I thought that it was like something bad or something evil was tempting him and calling him out, and then he hears, go like follow it or something like
say
that,
yes,
or whatever,
right.
Say yes. And so I just thought it was of another form of that bad thing, saying say yes and go. So to me it was connected. But go ahead.
And then it says, the dawn knew I was going to bleed. Look at death and see yourself. Dark Paris psychedelia inside the house. I raise my eyes and I raise my mug. Go ahead.
This is not related to the review.
Okay.
Kind of. I would like to have like a poetry book, like short poems that are like, like a page and a half, and like read them together and discuss them. That is like super interesting to me. Because I feel like some of the poetry I'm going to understand and some of them not, but I feel like I would enjoy those discussions of what it's talking about. So, just if you happen to know a good one.
Alright.
Get it for us.
So here it says, is she not with God? In the other translation. Here it says she is not with God. That's funny because that changes things. Just the place of the she and the is.
I know.
So if you put the she first, then it's a statement. Mm-hmm. If you put the is first, then it's a question. Mm-hmm. One of the interesting things about language. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm taking it as, in our translation, she is not with God. And then, you know, Bergen-Belsen was the site of one of the most horrific concentration camps. As a matter of fact, anytime I talk about Hitler and Nazis or whatever, I usually bring up Bergen-Belsen before I bring up Auschwitz.
Really?
Auschwitz is the
Oh, I'm so tired of hearing how horrible people are.
Yeah, it was a Nazi concentration camp in what is today Lower Saxony, northern Germany, southwest of the town of Bergen near Chell, which is where this guy comes from. So it could be him trying to work out the love he has for his homeland, while at the same time his homeland is forever going to be associated with this concentration camp,
Stained with the blood of those people.
like you know, you're never going to be able to get out of that.
Yeah.
So so you know, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a very, very intricate sort of song because, and it says, "Look at death, see yourself." So he personifies the dawn as speaking to him. The dawn you is going to bleed, which I'm assuming is that, you know, the dawn you he was going to die. And then the very next line is, "Look at death, see yourself." And this is all happening inside of his house. It looks like he's having a paranormal experience, which explains parapsychedelia. And he's just going with the flow. I raise my eyes and raise my mug. Hey, present, my commandment, cold against skin, in placeless form. So that seems to be some kind of spirit where, you know, the spirit is in his room, I'm assuming, and it doesn't have any form, and it doesn't belong to anyone, or because once you're dead, you're dead. You're no longer American, German, whatever.
Cold against skin.
Yeah. So yeah, right, exactly. He's so when it says present my commandment, maybe that's the ghost or the spirit of, you know, in his homeland telling him to remain present and feel everything in its cold against his skin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. This is a very intricate song lyrically, and I would love to know what the other songs are. I'm trying to find them. Or maybe an interview with this.
Yeah, look at this picture that's on the... I don't know if this is inside of the album, it looks like.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's a ghost with chains.
Yeah. That's your... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not... I wish I could find that thingamajiggy. Maybe if we
What?
could find some lyrics to part one, it would give us more context to what was going on and, you know.
But alas, speak the language.
But I think the ghost is a female. If you go up,
That's a woman?
yeah, because
A man.
go back to the lyrics.
Okay.
It starts off with "I feel her"
Yeah.
when it's dark, and it ends with "She is not with God." And then so he's having this esoteric experience. I'm assuming he's having that with this, the ghost of this woman or whatnot.
So then you don't think it's the city that's not with God. You think it's this ghost.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, there's so many different ways that you can interpret what he's trying to say here. That's what I'm saying, is like, you know, you can go all over the place. You
Why
can
do
say...
you think that... Okay, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Why do you think... Where did that idea come from that someone like that has unfinished business can't cross over to the other side, that they hang around? Because in Christian theology, that's not...
Right.
That doesn't happen.
Correct.
There's spirits, but they're evil spirits, or they're good spirits. But someone posing as someone that hasn't crossed over is an evil spirit in our minds.
Well...
So, what? Well, not necessarily if you're looking at Solomon.
Correct.
Yeah.
And, you know, you did have some kind of reincarnation type vibes with some people as well.
But how are people
intertestamental
supposed to know?
What do you mean?
because you know how like people will really miss someone that they love, and then they kind of like talk to the spiritual realm or something and say, hey, come back and visit me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, sometimes though, like a spirit comes to visit them, reminds them of a lot of the person that they lost, but then after time those spirits will get really like mean and evil.
Yeah. No,
how do you know if you know what I'm saying? Like,
it
was easier when my parents said none of them are good. That's easier than to say, you know, even I was told that when Solomon was called back, it wasn't actually him.
When Samuel,
yeah.
But the text says it was Samuel.
But they said it looked like him. But.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, I'm really not sure. You know, there's a lot here. So I found the lyrics for part 1. The house calls me Lord, shadows my court so matte, nostalgia up the stairs steeply. As the step gets fewer, seeker foals finds my grandeurs, gray memories. The dagger in the belt is gracefully edged. The wings of my hour, all I can hear. From the other side of death spark, your sorrows flow, taste join. Drove me to my limits and far beyond, and the last leaves valleys. It is rugged terrain. On rainy mountains shudders, I can only see the moon's face. So there's just not enough information for me to say definitively what that is, because again, it could be about his motherland, it could be about his land, and he's personifying the land as a woman. It could be maybe the whole record is about Bergen-Belsen, in which case the ghost would be a woman who suffered and died in Bergen-Belsen.
When I see that character with the chains, it kind of makes me think that might have been it.
Yeah, I mean it's very, 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 very possible. But man, I just love the musicianship in this song. I'm going to be checking out the comment section.
If I was them, I would have to do a tribute to those people. If I was from that place.
Yeah. But unfortunately, there's a lot of anti-Semitism and stuff in Europe right now. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that these guys are, but and again, the song may have nothing to do with that. Maybe he's like, look, that was just one part of our, history. Why do we have to keep talking about it over and over again? So, anyway, what do you get the song?
7.9.
I'm gonna give it a. Okay, hold on for 1 second. That's interesting. Okay. Cold against skin, she is not with God in her steedless form.
She's a ghost.
And then it says, the next song is deep in the heart of Norway, far away from human cattle. The thoughts migrate back when the frost demanded me in the west, wind and autumn rain, when Nordo entered Solverdberg. Yeah, I doubt this is about a concentration camp per se. I don't think so. The whole record may just be about where he lived and the skies, whatever. This is a 9.4 for me. Woo. The tremolo picking at the end and what they did in the second half of the song was absolute genius. Very good, very good. Thank you, Damon Sage, for getting me that translation. Shout out to Silver Kyrie, Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.